What's up, MFs? This is episode 2 of On the Road with Rattlesnake Roy. I am going to pick up my guest now. He's been on the podcast before, so I'm looking forward to it. He's a cool guy. I think he's really funny. He's a great artist. So it's kind of windy outside, so I don't know how well that's gonna sound, but fuck it. And I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get her started on episode 2 with Kuntry Dela Rosa.
This is like
I'm just gonna ask you questions like a podcast. I don't know.
Okay, I'm cool. I'm down with it.
It's gonna be hard for me though. Like I did this one with Mills, and I was like so fucking nervous because I'm driving.
It's okay.
I never met him, so luckily I've known you and talked to you.
You've never met Ezra?
Not like that. No, I'd said hi to him and shit, but
Ezra online and in person is a little bit different. He's a lot more wild in person, I think.
Yeah, so I was all fucked up trying to drive and.
I had seen that he said that I was gonna do the call-in one that you did the other day.
Oh yeah, I haven't been doing that lately.
But it looked like you had already had a couple people say they were gonna do it, so I was like, nah, it's fine.
But, so you fuck with the Beatles? You like
I love the Beatles, man.
Really? I never really could get into them.
Strong appreciation. Like I wouldn't say that I listened to them a whole lot,
Okay.
but like I understand the contribution and shit, I guess. Like I think they had like the first metal song ever. Like
really?
Helter Skelter was like the one that fucking Charles Manson like got go kill white people vibes from. But like that was like it's not there's a bunch of shit that people consider the first metal songs. I think the first like real metal shit was like Ozzy and shit. But
have you heard of Discharge?
Discharge?
Yeah, I heard they were like
medical discharge.
No, they were like I heard they were like sort of almost the first metal.
I watched this show on YouTube called like Polyphonic, and it like breaks down a bunch of shit like that. Like I watched one the other day, like about like the history of like guitar distortion.
Oh, okay.
And shit like that. And it's crazy, like the places that some of the shit comes from, like the artists and shit that you wouldn't think of and shit. And like a lot of that shit, they said like the original like amplifiers were like these glass tubes.
Yeah, I've seen
or whatever. And like whenever you crank that shit up, the distortion, to keep it from breaking, it compresses the sound or whatever, and it gives you like that fucking like tube sound like fucking Jimi Hendrix has at the beginning of like Voodoo Child and shit.
Okay.
Like him, and they named somebody else, I forgot the dude's name, but basically like the sound he got for his record was basically he just cut like the amp like with a razor to make it like I guess reverberate or whatever, and give it like a like nasty ass sound. I want to say it was like a Who song or some shit like that.
Yeah, it's always interesting to learn like how like you know, have you ever like, speaking of like things like that, like Eddie Van Halen, how he figured out how to finger tap, like
see like
shit like that.
Little shit like that is super cool. And
yeah.
like I just recently had gotten into more these. I'm like a big YouTube guy anyway, but like there's these videos like that tell like the stories behind like famous guitars and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And like Eddie Van Halen's is like a fucking, they call it like Franken.
Oh, the Frankenstein?
It's like
the one he built.
Yeah, and it's like all kinds of wild shit put together and fucking crazy paint job. And he's like took the fucking frets from like a fucking Fender and then like got a fucking all the like that shit is wild to me. Like and like Willie Nelson's fucking trigger, that fucking guitar with like a giant hole in it and shit from like just being
that
worn
acoustic
up.
one.
Yeah.
I like Eddie Van Halen. I like Van Halen.
Yeah, Van Halen.
And then when he died, it really like, you know, they played the shit out of him. So I'm like, oh dang, he's really good. Like just beyond the ones that are.
And I feel like I figured that out with Tom Petty. Like how good he was after he passed away, I think.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, I guess like there's certain songs you hear and you don't even, I guess, think about who the artist is.
Yeah.
Because you just hear it on like
it's like real famous.
Classic radio or some shit like that.
What's that one? One Last Dance with
the Last Dance with Mary Jane shit.
One.
Like I never, and yeah, he has a bunch of shit that is just cold.
Yeah.
He's very Bob Dylan-esque.
Hello, sir.
Hello there, Mr. Ossifer. Yeah, a lot of him, as I said, like I like a lot of that shit, but I wouldn't say I just listen to it a lot. But like I feel like you got like a duty to do the research.
You said something on Facebook about how like you were mentioning Russ. Do you remember what you said? Like you can appreciate him, but doesn't mean you listen to him or something.
Yeah.
I don't fucking like Russ, but
and like I really don't like the music, but like I can see how somebody would like it because he's not a bad rapper. Like,
so you can sort of appreciate the artistry.
I know that he's good at it. Like, I just don't like the music. You can be good at like Lupe Fiasco is fucking amazing rapper.
Yeah.
Super good. I don't want to listen to the songs though. The songs just like they just don't hit me.
Be said for like people here. Like
yeah. There's a lot of people that are good at what they do.
I can, and I haven't really talked about it, but I'll be honest. Like I can respect your hustle and your drive and your professionalism and your ability to market yourself, but I don't really like listen to local music.
Right, and like I try to like without being like a dick, I guess. Like it's a handful of people that are local artists that I listen to their music regularly.
Yeah, and I would legitimately want to know the answer. Like who in their legit has like local music in their playlist that they listen to, you know? Like,
Ezra Mills does.
I believe. Well, guys like that have to, right?
Like Vari and them, like I think they genuinely just ride around to.
Well, they have to almost, because they can't just put these people on a lineup.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to support it. Yeah. I mean, I'll go like. I mean, I guess it just depends who it is. Like anything that Lil Robbie drop, I'm gonna go check out. Booga, anything that Booga drops, like I'll go listen to Booga shit all day.
Yeah.
I just recently started actually listening to Brennan Cole's shit. Like I've seen him in person a lot, but I never like listened to any music, like recorded shit.
I regret not being able to go to that. If you're listening, I tried to go, but after
man,
that storm, dude, there was no Ubers after that storm.
Man, I told you I was like in a rush to get out here because like it was last minute or whatever. I needed to ride and shit, and I forgot my fucking ID.
Oh, damn.
So it wasn't a problem at the Culture Lounge because it's like all ages, but at Jake's, like they're fucking dicks about that shit. Like they will not let you in with no ID.
Yeah, I mean I get it. That's a little bit more of a.
Like I think Young Pat and his little brother performed at the last one or whatever, and his brother's like 19, I think, and the cuz had to basically sit outside until it was time for him to perform.
Damn, they
did
it like that.
He got to go on stage and then had to leave.
They were that serious.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. You don't want to fuck up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Liquor license and all that shit.
Yeah, I dig it.
That's crazy. That sucks.
I guess I don't know. I think I've been in so many seedy places as an underage kid that to me it's like, really? Y'all are IDing people for this? Yeah. But I can't get in anywhere with no ID, so I just look too young.
I guess, yeah, man, I don't know. They know me by now because they didn't ID me last time. I like what Mills is doing with the Culture Lounge. Did you like the show? The Made in Texas?
Yeah, it was cool. It was a cool vibe.
Well, were you expecting to perform, or you?
Oh yeah, I've known for about a week I was gonna perform.
Oh, okay.
Cause I'm helping Shelly get her stuff rolling and shit. Yeah.
She up and coming? Is it new?
Yeah. She's been trying to do it for a couple years, but just like one song a year type shit maybe.
Oh, really?
So it's like I'm trying to get her to. I was like, if you don't do it, you have to do it. And get better. There's no way you're gonna get any better if you're not recording. And that's what her biggest issue is, just like projecting herself when she's recording. But she's gotten a lot better since the first time I worked with her and shit. But like, yeah, she's getting ready to do her like first real single and shit. We got her all platformed up last night or whatever, and her shit's gonna drop on like the 26th or something like that.
Nice. I should probably have to do a podcast with her.
Yeah, she's
I need more females, man. I need that.
I've been trying to show her around to people and introduce her to people so she can start doing shit like that too.
Are you like under a record label or like a label? Or is it kind of y'all's thing?
I'm supposed to, like, me and GT Garza from Houston have like a deal in place or whatever, but now we're kind of working on the details of that. So I'm basically independent right now, but once we get the details squared away, I'll still be with La Máquina and shit.
Nice.
But which is still a pretty loose deal. Like, it's not like they taking money from me or no shit like that. But
Are you pretty active? How often are you recording?
all the time, as
All
much
the
as
time?
I can. If I'm in Lubbock, I'm recording.
You don't do it in Abilene?
Nah, I'm sure there's studios there and shit, but like I'm pretty comfortable with Josh and shit. So it's pretty rare if I go record somewhere else because I know I'm gonna want Josh to mix it. I've done a couple of songs at other spots, but if it's for my shit, I'm gonna record it with Josh.
How often are you in Lubbock? You like to be
Here recently, it's been like every week.
Yeah.
I've come for the weekends, and I stayed like a whole week last time. But like, so for basically every other week, every couple of weeks, I try to come down here.
You with Kirby?
Yeah, and like, you know, what I'm saying, Curb's out here, so a lot of what I gotta do has to be done here. But like a lot of the shows and shit too, though, has been here, so I gotta be here for that.
Fuck yeah, dude! Everything's opening up.
Yeah, so hopefully once it's fully open, we'll be.
How do you feel like about like? Do you think like having? Is there such a thing as having too many shows in a month? Like, do you think you should space it out, or do you think like it's kind of like?
In my opinion, like depending on where you're at in your like career, I guess, I think it oversaturates you for people to be able to go and see you perform at Jake's every weekend.
Okay.
There's like, you lose a little bit of the mystique when I can just approach you. He's going to be at the O Bar every Saturday or whatever. I think whenever you're coming up first, you know, whenever like what Vari's doing right now is dope for Vari, because Vari doesn't have a project out. He doesn't, hasn't put out an official single. So he's just you got to be in people's faces. Once you get established a little bit, like Brennan.
Yeah,
you don't see Brennan. It's a big deal when he performs because he don't perform all the time.
There are levels to it, right?
Yeah, like and like perception, it goes a long way. So if people see you at every single local show, every time that there's a show in Lubbock, like the perception is you're just the local dude.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. It seems like, when you go to a bar, there's that same guy playing a guitar in the corner every Wednesday.
What you want, like my suggestion to people would be like get out of town and go do shows at other places out of town. That way, you know what I'm saying, people see you at other places and, you know what I'm saying, make it big situations and not like every little open mic or whatever. Like it has to be like a show and a presentation. That way every time somebody sees your name, it's with something big. And like that perception, like when people perceive you as being big, they're gonna treat you like you're big.
There you go. Like, yeah, I just keep thinking like Brennan Cole.
Like a lot of that is the perception. I mean, not that he's not doing his thing, he is, but like he manages his image really well, and like that's like, and I think he was like in radio or something.
Yeah, he was
before, so he has an understanding of the logistics of shit.
We did that podcast together. He told me kind of like his upbringing, and it really made sense why he is the way he is, because he went from being like a hype man and went from being on radio.
I forgot who it was that told me. I think the DOG, Zach.
Tryptamine.
Yeah, he was talking to me and he said like he went to South by Southwest like 3 years ago.
Yeah. And
Brennan was there, but he wasn't there as a rapper. He was there as like a manager, hype man type. I forgot who he said he was there with. I want to say it was like Creed or something like that. Another rapper from out here, but like, or even Booga. It might have been Booga.
I think it was Booga.
And he was like, man, like for him to go from that to where he is in like 3 years, like 3 years ago, he wasn't even rapping.
Yeah, that's what I was so shocked to hear. Like
he's really good live. Like his live performance is amazing. That's what really caught me, because I've seen his name around a lot, but like seeing him live at the 806 versus everybody shit, like I was like, okay, like he.
Yeah, I think you're like one of those people. Like I was interested to see you live because I had heard about you and your like you saying, your presence. To me, that's more important. I don't know why. I just feel like it was more important to be good at playing live.
Yeah, and that's like the hard.
really
That's
do.
harder.
It is harder.
That's
Yeah.
like, and I don't know if you've ever seen DOG live.
No,
DOG is amazing live.
He's been saying he is, so I'm excited to see him. I think he's doing the Tornado Alley thing in April.
Yeah, he is really amazing live,
Yeah.
and like that's one of the I always critique myself on shit. So like my strong point is recording songs. That's what I'm really good at. I'm really comfortable at it. I'm not as comfortable performing live. They're like I have anxiety and shit like that, so it's always fucking nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I bet, dude.
And I hate the shit until like I'm there. But and like that's what, like, to me, like that's where my weakest point is, performing live. So I gotta get better at that, especially at the rapping shit. The singing songs, I can do that easy all day.
Okay.
But like the rapping stuff, like I have a really bad memory, really like short-term memory, so I like forget everything.
Really?
That's why Curve, like I was setting up the set, and Curve was like, "You should do this song and this song." I was like, "Bro, I ain't never even performed them songs before. Like I guarantee you, I won't remember that shit, and I'll be up there just looking lost." I was like, I kind of got a set of songs that I know, people like the songs, so I have to perform them. But yeah, I think that DOG he'll jump off stage and go pull the crowd to the stage if they're not there, you know.
That's how I feel about Germ, man. He really is.
Yo,
His
Germ,
presence is amazing.
that last night I think is the first time I've ever seen him.
Yeah.
I thought he was Cody Too Cold at first
They
when I
do, they
just
kinda
saw
look-
them because they look kind of similar.
They do look kind of similar.
But my cuz I don't know if he's just hyped like that all the time or if he was like off a beam, but that nigga was.
I don't know, man. He's wild.
He looked like he was out there dancing like a motherfucker.
Taking his shirt
Yeah,
off.
I turned around and that nigga didn't have a shirt on. I was like, oh shit, it's going down. His music is like really like happy. It's like it's bright.
Yeah, you're right, man. You just feel happy listening.
Yeah,
to
like I heard it last night and I was like, nigga, I'm in a good mood. This makes me want to skip.
Yeah.
Like the very last song he did, I was like, all right, like this shit is like.
This is where I live, so it's not too far.
I was telling somebody about whenever we pulled up to your house. I was like, I don't think we're at the right house. I was like, it's really well decorated outside.
I remember you saying,
I was like, there's benches and shit. There's no way there's no way like a 23-year-old dude lives there.
Hell no, it wouldn't be like that if it was just me.
I was like, this is too well decorated outside.
Yeah, I forgot to tell y'all.
I feel like it's a lot of like really alternative kids now that are.
Is that
like,
what you would say they are?
Yeah, that's like the term that comes to mind when I see some of them, like with like chokers on and shit. It's like, if I didn't know that this was a rap show, I would think y'all are going to like a metal show.
Yeah, for sure.
Or like Evanescence or something.
There was a lot of that, I think, with
I think like Germ's crew,
Yeah,
if I just looked at Germ's squad, like I would never think that, I mean him, yes. But like,
and Alpha Savage too, he's very...
The homies, I would be like, I don't know. I wouldn't think that they're rappers or singers or whatever it is that they're, and they all make really good music though. That's what was cool. But like I feel like that about them, and I feel like some of the Gold Band guys, too. Like that's what's cool about the rap shit though. Like there's no like, I think we talked about that before. Like how there's like no look anymore. Like you don't have to look a certain way in order to be a rapper. Like you can fucking. What's that? There's that one dude that like all the white people like, fucking Tom McDonald. Fucking hate his music. It's terrible. But like, he's a rapper with like all the like. It looks like he's like a fucking screamo artist or something.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's horrible. He's like.
Is it even rap? Like.
Yeah, it's rap, but he does rap that's like. He's like. He's like making this like anti like Black Lives Matter music, I guess.
Okay.
It's like yeah, he's like, if I were black.
Oh.
So I'm like, okay, it's problematic, dog. This is too much, man. But yeah, he's like basically just saying how he makes a bunch of rap songs about how white people are oppressed.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, dog, you're from Canada. Like, there's no oppression in Canada.
Hey, man. Yeah, if it works for you, it works for you, I guess.
I mean, there's a fucking market for it.
Do you, is there shit you won't talk about?
In music?
Yeah. You were the one that was telling me about cancel culture. Remember? You're like, you're scared of it? I'm like, fuck, me too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything problematic that I want to talk about.
Oh, okay.
You
Is
know
that
what I
really
mean?
what it is, though?
Like, I mean, what could I...
Dude, I was...
There's no... I don't want to make music about, like... I don't have... Not, what's a good way to word this? Like, I'm not going to, like, write songs about gay people or nothing, like, with, like, Macklemore, right? Like, he's just... I could see why, like, but I just would never... I don't make songs like that anyway.
Yeah, it's just not near.
The most problematic shit I say in songs is like bitch and hoe. Although I used to say like fag or whatever back whenever that was when that was like okay. And now I go back and I hear some of the songs where I've said it and I'm like, oh, cringe. Super cringe. I used to say that a lot. Like here recently is where I'm like, dang, dog. Like I look at someone like, I think I told you about this shit too, where I was like, I'm looking through like old posts.
Yeah.
And I'm like heavy on the F.
You know, it's weird. It sucks that it's like this, but it's like some people like voice their opinions. Like it's cool like if you think a certain way, but you see people voice it like literally the thought in their head. They put it on Facebook or Twitter, and you're like, yeah, you could have probably like not have said that. Just keep it to yourself.
Yeah, there's like certain
and it's
things
not even
and
like
I'm
that bad. It's just like
it's just I don't know what.
Like guys like talk about like women.
I was like, what are you possibly gonna get out of this conversation?
Yeah, like you know the guys guys, especially a lot of dudes. I don't really know girls. Like guys will put their opinion about things that really don't pertain to them. And that's cool to have your opinion about it, but like, why would you post that? You're just asking for fucking trouble.
Yeah, and like it would be shit that you like.
Because believe me, dude, there's certain things I'd love to tweet about and put on Facebook, but I'm just like, nah.
It's just like for me, like it's not worth. I can believe what I believe, and you can believe what you believe, without like we don't have to argue about it because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
How many valid points I can make or you can make, I'm still not gonna be like, you know what? My total fucking train of thought is completely different now that you have told this to me. Like, no, I still feel how I feel. Like, I was talking to somebody about, like, the transgender thing or whatever, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I don't understand it, a lot of the shit. So I don't express nothing about it because I don't know enough about it to express anything knowledgeable about the shit. I was like, now I know how I feel. Like, I wouldn't say how I feel about it, but I know how people feel about it, or people who are religious, for instance. Like, you know what I mean?
No, yeah, you can have like I'll have that perspective of like a religious point of view when it comes to a lot of this, and I'm the immediate thoughts that come to mind. I see people post. I'm like, what? You can't just say shit like that.
Like,
you know what I mean? You gotta filter through that shit.
Yeah, like, you just gotta pick your battles. And shit.
I saw like you when we first did the podcast, you were on Facebook jail.
Yeah,
That's what you said, and then I come, we become friends on Facebook, and now I'm like reading your shit, right? You get a little dicey. Like not even the shit you say.
It's just it's never nothing that I say. It's always like something like a meme.
Yeah.
The memes are the problematic, but I've really toned the shit down. Like before, I was saying way more wild shit, but now like I'm like mindful of like saying like.
I saw your shit. Like, I'm like, oh, this is why this guy's infected.
Like anything about like calling someone a bitch or anything like that when you're like directed at something, they'll fucking block you. So like I won't say anything about bitches really. Like, oh, these bitches, I gotta find more creative words. Like I say hussy a lot because they never flag hussy.
I love that word.
Yeah, it's an old school and you gotta bring it. I think hussy needs to make a comeback.
See man, like the bitch is one of those words too. It's like it just comes out sometimes. It's like I don't mean to, I'm not calling you a bitch, but it's almost, I don't know.
I was talking to my homeboy Kyler the other day. He's a white dude, and like he was just trying to understand the complexities of like the N word, right?
Mm-hmm. I was even gonna bring that one up, but
and I was like, look, man, I can't tell nobody what they can or can't say.
No, yeah, exactly.
But just be mindful that when you do say that you don't know how everyone's gonna react to it. I could hear you say it, be like, yeah, whatever, not even think about it. Somebody else might hear you say it and slap the taste out your mouth. but just know that that's the possibility. I was like, it's the same thing as not the same thing, but it's like I compared it to like one of my homeboys from San Antonio. They say bitch a lot, bitch, you know, like bitch you're dumb, and just talking to your homeboy.
A southern thing.
But some people don't like that shit.
No, they don't.
Like,
especially girls.
Like, bro, don't call me no bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like my homeboy Broadway. Like if I went up to him and say, bitch, what you doing? He probably, boy, the fuck, call me no bitch.
You're right, man. That's my whole thing, though, is like, I don't want people telling me that I can and can't say certain words, but I'm not stupid either.
That's what I'm like, that's what he was like, no, I was like, bro, you can say whatever you want. I'm just telling you that there may be consequences for it, and what I don't like is when, like, something like that happens and someone gets their ass kicked, and they're like, oh, I don't understand. Remember the Twisted Tea guy? I'm pretty sure that dude was like, I think he was kept calling the dude nigga.
Yeah, he did.
And that guy didn't like it and smacked him with a fucking Twisted Tea.
Yeah, see, like, that's gonna happen, and then it's gonna happen, and you're gonna get in trouble for it.
Yeah, and like you're gonna look like like the biggest.
It's a lose-lose.
I kind of feel bad for Cole. What's his name? That country singer that recently got fucking in trouble. The whiskey glasses guy. I don't know, but he said the N-word. Damn, what the fuck's his name? He sings a country song called Whiskey Glasses. But the headline was like, so-and-so, I can't think of that man's name for the life of me. So-and-so drunkenly yells the N-word. So I'm thinking he got drunk and was like, you N-words, get out of my yard. That's what I had seen in my head when I read the caption. And then I went and watched the video, and he was like, he was talking to one of his homeboys. He's like, leaving him in the car, and he was like, yeah, take care of that bitch. Take care of that hoe-ass nigga. That's what he said. And I was like, oh, damn.
Yeah, it's a little bit different.
But I mean, like I said, like, that's another thing where it's like, I don't feel like that was that bad, but I'm also not allowed to make that call because, you know, that word's pretty, I can't tell nobody not to be offended by a word that's offensive. Like, just true. Because but I'm also not black, so for me to say, that's not that bad, I really ain't got the right to say it because I'm not black, so I can't say whether it was that bad.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's a slippery slope, dog. That's what I'm like.
It is, and then it's like, there's no privacy. Like, you can't even just say shit in your own house, and like, or in the privacy of like friends without getting in trouble.
Yeah, like, it was even that. Like, I think his neighbor was like outside, just like secretly videotaping him, trying to catch him say some wild shit.
I'm uber careful what I say around people now. I don't want to get in trouble.
Like especially like.
And I'm not even like racist or nothing, or I'm not homophobic, not transphobic, none of that. But there's certain words that slip out. Like, you're just like.
Yeah, and like it's just weird that you have to be super mindful of the shit now, and like I understand. Like I said, you don't. Like, I never thought about, like, what calling something gay was. Like, because I never called something gay meant, like homosexual. I mean, like, that's like, stupid.
Like weird or stupid.
Yeah, like, that's gay. It's
what
dumb.
What the fuck y'all doing?
But, like, to get, like, I could just imagine, like, can you imagine if, like,
I was really thinking
somebody used, like, Mexican as a term for stupid? That's Mexican as fuck. It was like, okay, I can see why that might offend you, seeing people be like, oh, that's gay. So you're basically just saying, like, we're stupid, and you use our shit for, like, a term for stupid. Which is a weird thing, I think, to get mad about, too, but, like, I could understand it. It's weird, like, everything has implications now, and it's fucking
I was thinking
stupid.
about, like, that one, like, you know how, like, we just kind of, like, grew up saying, well, that's gay, or y'all are gay. Or,
it's just accepted vernacular.
You're just saying it, like, you weren't really, like, being homophobic. You're just like, what the fuck, man, that's gay. And now it's like, you can't say that no more. Like, that's
yeah, but, like, if you think about it, too, though, like, in, like,
the
in the 1950s, you could just throw that N-word around, too. Like, it was nothing. Like,
that's true.
And as understanding comes, like, you know. But, like, that is a demeaning fucking thing.
There's
and, like, the fact that it's so accepted in the English language, like, just tells you how little respect they gave gay people for the longest time. That we can just. Man, I went and did another podcast in Odessa.
Sorry, let me explain. Like, I guess somebody in the comments, shout out to you, explained it that, like, as like a tax thing or something, a cinema camera and a different camera.
Mm.
So that's why like these can only record for 30 minutes because they don't want to be considered cinema cameras and like the taxes and all that shit. So that's why it's gonna cut off at 30 minutes every time I do it.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was weird.
I've always wondered that because I've always felt like anytime I shoot something with somebody, it's like a limited window.
Yeah, because I was with Mills and it cut off, and I was like, dude, I know I cleared the memory, I charged everything, and I think his name's Chris commented about that, so that's why I'm gonna have to cut. It cuts at 30, and then we gotta come back. Yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't. I was like, oh, thank you.
It's an interesting tidbit of information.
Yeah, like the more you know. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for that update.
So you were in, what were you saying? You were in Odessa?
Oh, yeah, and I went and did a podcast with a buddy over there. They have called the Ain't Shit podcast, and it was horrible.
What do you mean?
I mean, the podcast it's a good podcast. But, like, he was a friend of mine. It's like 15 years. And, like, the whole podcast is basically just asking you to tell, like, terrible stories of, like, sexual things and, like badassery.
Asking you to get in trouble or what?
like they ask, like, how many people you've had sex with.
Oh, okay.
Which is a question that with some media training, you're like, oh, like 10. But, like, if you, like, have had 12 drinks and you're talking to your friend of 15 years, you're just like, whatever, man, 130. That just goes out for the world to see.
That's I don't know, that one's a slippery slope too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. He got me to say a lot of shit that I had to go back and be like, nah, you gotta cut some of this shit out, dude. Like, I couldn't make him cut everything out because the whole thing is that's the content that they want to get. So I was like, I have to leave them with some kind of content that is like outrageous. But I was like, nah, you at least gotta cut out where I'm saying people's names. Like,
dude, that's a hard thing to do, man. I haven't been editing, so like. I mean, I don't edit anymore, so it's just a straight podcast. So, you know, I'm trying not to say names. I'm not trying to be
that's like,
stupid.
man.
That's fucking hard. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a cool everyone
idea,
does it a little bit different, though.
That's a cool idea, I guess.
And see, and now they're doing it like TMZ style too. So they got to deal with this club called Black Gold in Odessa, and they get out there with the camera and the mic, and as people are coming out,
that's cool.
They're interviewing drunk people and like asking them all these wild ass questions as they come out the club. Like last night, someone came out and Christian is the other host. He's like, "So how much cocaine have you done tonight?" First question. Dude was like, enough.
He was telling the truth. He was already loaded.
Like, once you're drunk, dog, you're just gonna give them everything.
Especially if you're leaving the bar, man. You be fucked up. You don't give a fuck. I respect it.
Yeah, it's a cool idea for a little podcast.
How many have you done, would you say? You done a lot?
In like the last 2 months, I've done like 5.
That's cool, man. It's cool hearing like other people.
And that's what I was telling a friend too. Is like, it's really cool to see how everyone has a different style of questioning.
Yeah.
Like the 806er dude, I think he's like more DJ Vlad style.
Yeah.
Asking certain questions or whatever.
I don't know. I love that guy. He's cool. And
yeah, he's cool.
I get a lot of ideas from him, but I can't go that route. Like,
I see what his end goal is to be like Say Cheese TV or something like that.
I get it, but people always ask me that. They're like, "Do you have questions right now? Do you prepare?" I'm like, "Nah." I think it would get very boring very quick if I did that.
Yeah, if it's just like a Q&A.
Yeah, and then sometimes you would ask a question and it'd be all awkward, like, you know, like somebody don't know how to answer that. I'm like, nah, I don't want that.
Yeah, I think it just depends. Like I said, like
I get it, man. And then it also is helpful because fucking thinking questions on the spot is hard.
Yeah, and like I think like when I did it with Ezra and them, it was more focused on like music shit. So they were like, they like did the research and were like bringing up certain songs and like asking questions about songs and the project. Like, so that's cool. Like whenever it's a line of questioning that can be expanded upon, and it's not just like a bunch of yes or no shit.
Yeah.
Like it can work good that way. That's what I was telling Jelly too. Like everyone does it a little different. I feel like when I did it with Roy, it was more just like an open conversation, and we just kind of flowed whichever way the conversation went. It was less like Q&A, interrogation style.
I want to do that though. Like I have a little mic. I want to go somewhere and like just straight
You start
up,
doing it
boom.
at the shows. So
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a whole different thing. I don't want to deal with having to carry all this.
yeah, I'm saying like my buddy is like 3 of them like
Yeah.
dedicated to all
That's like
doing
their
it.
craft, right?
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
and then, but like, their whole aesthetic is gonna be like basically ratchet TMZ.
That's fun. I bet it's fun to do that.
Yeah, I mean,
I might do that every once in a while.
And now what's cool is every time that I see some ratchet shit going on my Facebook, I like screenshot it and I'll send it to them or whatever, so they can like go have people like they'll see shit like girls fighting and shit, and then those girls will be the guest on the show the next week.
That's cool. And that's in Odessa?
Yeah.
I heard that place is pretty ghetto.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's about like Lubbock.
Is it?
Lubbock and Odessa are like the same.
Lubbock's
place.
getting bad, dude. I don't know.
Lubbock was wild when I lived here. Motherfuckers was getting shot every night at the depot.
We got big city problems in this little ass town, you know?
This is college.
I asked this girl yesterday, she got mad. I was at Two Docs Brewery, I was telling you.
Uh-huh.
I was like, I heard Dallas is like just a bigger Lubbock. Is that true? And she was like, what the? She was like, no, we got. I'm like,
no, Dallas definitely isn't a bigger Lubbock.
Really?
No.
I've
Dallas
heard a
is-
lot of people say it's just a.
Arlington maybe. Like Arlington is probably. Dallas is. Nah.
No.
Downtown, like especially downtown Dallas, like it's just vastly different. It's buildings.
I haven't been there in a long time. I want to go over there.
Dallas is a city, like that. Especially, I think people confuse like the outskirts of Dallas, like Garland and shit. Like yeah, that's like Lubbock, but Dallas itself is fucking huge.
Sorry, guys. My bad. Oops.
Fucking huge. A bunch of traffic circles. You ever seen a traffic circle before?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a big random island in the middle of the street, just a circle.
Oh,
And
we
like,
got one downtown.
this is like
People don't know how to fucking
the
drive that.
stupidest fucking design ever. Like, why? Why are we doing this?
That's like a European shit, isn't it? Like they
Yeah,
kinda
just
got-
like a fucking random traffic circle in the middle of nowhere.
Well, why don't you live in Lubbock?
I don't know. Nah, I'll stay with some family in Abilene, and I'm helping them with some shit.
Okay.
But I just honestly I just know that I partake in too much things when I'm in Lubbock, and it's cool to do that because I'm only here on the weekends. You know what I mean? And I'm a lot more grounded at home, and like I'm not drinking or nothing like that really because I live with a bunch of kids and my cousin's kids and shit like that. So it keeps me grounded, having to kind of keep my shit together at home, and then whenever I come out here, I can
let loose a
do
little
my
bit.
rock star shit
Hell yeah.
and get faded. And,
That's why I'm kind of glad I live at home, because that's the same for me.
Yeah, I think people me personally, I need a balance
Yeah.
because if I'm left to just party, that's all I'm gonna do is party, and it's so easy to party here. Everything that I want, my friends have it, and they're very willing to share it with me. And then like alcohol, and
I don't really partake in that.
It's like
that's your thing.
My mere presence just makes people feel like they have to drink. So like if they pull up to I'm like, hey man, just come by the house, like they have beer. So it's like
that's another fun thing about this. I can't drink. I want to.
Yeah, driving.
But doing it sober, man, it's fun. It's fun to, like you're saying, like it's a balance. It's fun to do something sober. I'm scared of shit doing things sober.
Yeah, I think being forced to be not being forced, but like being clear-minded. I don't make good choices when I'm drunk. I don't make very smart choices when I drink. Thanks, phone. Yeah, so I feel like.
Hey, we did this yard from a landscaper. This looks like shit.
Oh, you nice as shit, huh?
Yeah, dude. Like you don't talk about bad decisions. I fucking got a tattoo last night, drunk.
What?
I'm not mad at what I got. I'm mad at where I put it. I did not want to put it where I put it.
What did you get?
Hold on. At the stop sign, I'll show you.
That's awesome.
So they did like 25. It was like a whole party at Two Dogs. It was St. Patrick's Day party. So there's $25 flash tattoos, and I was like, fuck it, I'll get one. I was faded, and I got this little beer mug.
Oh yeah.
I like it, but I don't want it right there. I wanted it somewhere else.
You just chose a spot, or what?
I guess I just laid down like I ain't bashing them, but fuck, I think that should be illegal to let drunk idiots get tattoos.
So you don't even remember being like, put it there.
Nope.
That's great.
I don't remember any of that, dude. I'm a little embarrassed, but it's like, whatever. I get it.
Like a few weeks ago, I hung out with this girl. She was a stripper chick.
Nice.
And, you know, I'd known her for a little bit, and then, like, we didn't talk for a long time. She had, like, a boyfriend or whatever, and then she didn't have a boyfriend. I was like, yo, let's kick it. It's been a minute, and she's kind of clingy, and there was a bunch of red flags that I ignored, and I don't go to the strip club with them when they're stripping or whatever, so I'm at the room drinking, and I bought, like, a bottle of R&R. It's like a little fucking, about this big a bottle, and was drinking it by myself, and I had a McDonald's cup with a straw, and like drinking liquor with a straw is just like a whole, you drink a whole lot faster.
I've heard of doing it with beer, never with liquor.
Well, not just straight liquor, it was like mixed with Coke or some shit like that, but like still you're just it goes down a lot faster with a straw.
Yeah.
So I'm knocking it out. And by like 3, I'm blackout drunk. I don't fucking remember nothing. And I woke up the next day and like at the hotel, and I'm hungover a little bit, and like I go into the restroom to like take my shirt off. For some reason, whenever I'm super hungover, I've got to like sit in the tub of water and just sit there like fucking Goku in the rehydration chamber and shit. So I took my shirt off, and like it's like this big fucking, like it looked like I had a tattoo, but this bitch had like bitten me.
Oh, fuck.
And it wasn't like, it was like
a real bite?
Like, yeah, look, and then right here, she bit me as well. You can still see the teeth.
Oh, God, dude.
Like, serious bites. I was like, what the fuck? And like, she was like, did I do that? I was like, well, you had to do it. Who the fuck else did it?
Oh, fuck.
Dude, it was, and that shit hurt. Like, the one on my arm was worse.
That's just.
I was like, that's not like fucking sexual bites. Like, that's not like cute, like sexy bite. Nigga, that's like you tried to take a chunk out of my fucking arm.
Fuck, that's weird.
Yeah, that was. I'm all showing my cousin when I got home. I was like, I have no real recollection of this.
You gotta watch it.
And that's a hard ass bite to not remember.
Like, for real, though, you real fucked up.
Like, I can still, this is like a month ago already, and I can still see the teeth marks in my leg.
Jesus.
Get into some wild shit.
I've been with one girl like who was into crazy shit, and I did not enjoy it.
No, bro, I was talking like.
I respect it if you are, but
one of my cousin's friends is white lady and shit, and she was they're older, they're like 42 or whatever. And she was talking about like her sex things, and she was like, she likes like nigga to be like fucking her and like have like a knife and like slightly like cut her a little bit. That's how she explained it to me. I still like, in my head, I don't see how that is even fucking possible. Like, I'm not a multitasker either. Like, I can't focus on doing that, and then, like, I gotta, like, cut you a little bit, but not enough to kill you, but, like, enough for you.
Like,
it's just so much. Like, I have anxiety thinking about trying to do it right now.
Slice her too hard.
Like, yeah, like, there's so many variables, dog. Like
I said, there's a lot of people who are into a lot of crazy shit. I won't even say weird. I'll just say crazy.
And I think it's, like, I think a
lot of girls like pain, to be honest.
I guess I talk really wild on Facebook, and it's just like, these are just memes, dog. Like, yeah. Unless if I write it out on my, write it out, that's just straight me. I don't be copying people's posts. So, like, anytime it's, like, written, that's all me.
Okay.
But I'll share, like, you know, weird-ass posts, and, like, girls is way more aggressive. Like, this one girl, for instance, the other day, just at like 12 in the afternoon, it was like, do you want me to swallow your penis alive? She said it like way more sexual. But at like 12, I was like, shit, what? Bitch, it's 12 p.m.
Like, she was horny.
Who even talks like that at 12 in the, like, that's like some 3 in the morning shit.
Yeah.
I was like, and like, I don't even know how to be, like, I'm not that, I don't talk like, I gotta be really drunk to be talking like that. So I'm like, And who knew? I was scared. I was like, dog, that is really like I think that's what I messaged her back. I was like, well, that was aggressive.
I respect it, man. Girls get after it. They know
Yeah.
what they want.
Yeah. Hey, man, and it's like the bigger girls have no fucking fear of anything.
I love big girls.
Big girls will come buy you a drink, roll up in your inbox. Big girls don't give a fuck. Bold.
Yeah, I love them. There's like big houses down
That's one thing that's weird about Lubbock is you could have like a nice fucking beautiful home sitting right next to like this broken down
there.
house that it's like 50-50 whether somebody lives there or not.
Yeah, it's like weird spots in Lubbock that are just like
it's like
crazy.
nice house,
like,
nice
big
house.
and nice, and then it's like
then boom.
Then another block it's like ghetto.
I think on the north side it's like that bad. Like it's like it'll be a bunch of good shit and then just like ratchet.
Yeah,
like
you
older
home.
Lock your doors.
See, like these like big ass 2-3 lots in one. I don't know.
There's a lot of wide houses. I don't know if that's a way to say it, but like just long ass houses here that aren't 2-story, but they're just huge.
Yeah.
Take up like the whole corner of the block. There's some money here in Lubbock though.
There is, man. We really haven't been too fucked over with like just nothing really slowed down. It's weird. I don't know.
I mean, I think
they're building houses, man. They're selling cars.
It's like the only things that here that would have really got affected was like bars.
Yeah, they did a little bit, man. That sucks.
Like everything else was pretty much sustainable.
Alrighty, country. I'd like to keep it about 45 minutes.
Alrighty.
I appreciate you taking time out of your day.
It was
I hope you had fun.
This reminds me of?
Is that
Seinfeld show? You ever seen that shit? It's like comedians in cars getting coffee.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking
just
about.
Without coffee
Kind of the idea.
and funny people.
Yeah. That's a little bit of the inspiration, to be honest. But,
no, this was fun. I've never done a moving
I thought
podcast.
it was a great one. Whenever you're back in town, I guess I'll probably see you at a show or something.
Yeah, I'll probably. I think there's some coming up. I'll be on one of the next ones.
Sweet.
Within the next couple.
You know about Vari's big announcement? That'll be cool.
Yeah. See, I'll be on that.
I don't know if that's been announced yet. So.
I already know I know what he's announcing, but I'll be on that.
I heard about that, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, I'll be on that. We're gonna do like full band.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that.
For that, I'm trying to find. You want to play guitar for me?
Shit, I'm thinking about it.
I need a guitarist and a drummer that'll fucking show up.
Dude, that'd be crazy. Well, then we'll have to get in the works on that because I know some people who play.
Yeah, like I don't know any. I know people who do it, but no one dedicated enough that I know I can count on them to come and practice and rehearse the shit and be there.
We'll get into talks. I play it every day, so just trying to do the best I can. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
See y'all next time. This is episode 2.